Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is practice, like we have to practice making this podcast. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we had just a very small blurb there. The new XSplit software, it automatically chooses which server you go to, which we were raving about how awesome it was in the pre-ramble of the show, which is available to you if you become a patron of the Painting with Menoth John show. The Painting with Menoth John show patrons down here in the corner, I got to relearn how to do this and stuff, so I'm pointing down here, patreon.com/MenothJohn. We'll give you exclusive access to the pre-ramble where we will curse ourselves from time to time by stating that the new XSplit software is the bomb diggity. John, what I saw happen was that the bitrate never really took off. So, but, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to John Spencer, the co-host with the Mo-host.
That's me.
That's you. We don't have any guests this week, John.
No, we don't.
And that's okay.
It's just us rolling together.
That's just okay. We don't need to. We'll take a deep breath, and we'll have a quick beverage. In my case, I'm having. I started off the night with Three-Eyed Crow from Omagong. It's a Game of Thrones beer. But right now, I'm on to Rustic Road Brewing Company from Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's a hazelnut malt type beverage, beer, if you will. And it's quite delightful. What are you having, John?
Well, I've got a shot of Kraken. I'm going to follow it up with some IBC Black Cherry.
Nice. So on behalf of John and I, hey, Ron.
Ron.
So, yep, technologies. But we're up now. We're coming to you from the Twitch server in London, England. So for all my friends in the Smog-Con-ish area, hey, Ron. And I think we've got a great show tonight, don't we, John?
Absolutely.
You know,
we've got spoilers.
We do. We have all the spoilers.
Spoilers.
We are up to our butts in spoilers. And but before we get there, we have a few things that we do need to take care of. We've done the beverage update. I've introduced the most awesome co-host in the whole wide world. I'm so used to pointing up in this direction because that's where he used to live. Now we got to point over here. I'm gonna bend my finger and move it this way. There he is, right there. And but before we get too far into that, John, we've got a couple of sponsorship things we need to take care of.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I want to do is, for those of you who haven't paid attention here, I'm going to be showing you the fabulousness of the Painting with Menoth John Precision Measuring Kit. Now you'll notice I'm panning the camera here with much majesty. This is you really need to capture all of the majesty here. First thing we've got here, this is the 5-inch measuring tool, and you'll notice that each of these measuring tools has my cosplay of Bob Ross going on here, and then we have Ash Ketchum's hand holding a bottle of Kraken. Now the glow we talked about last week, the glow last week is due to the capturing of a parakeet soul in this one. And remember, the plastic that we're using is pure tiger's blood, as far as you know. So that's the 5-inch unit. The 6-inch unit, we spared no expense on the 5-inch unit, John. And the reason this is freaking out is because of the it takes so much work for the camera to focus on this much majesty. So we're going to back it off here a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. This one, the glow, is provided by the soul of an eagle trapped within here. We're not going to be talking about the soul of the eagle every week, so consider yourself lucky if you're on here and you're listening to this right now. So 6 inches, you can measure 6, you can measure 1, you can measure whatever this is. I believe it's 2 down here. Soul of an eagle, blood of tigers, boom. All right, so we got that on there. And then these are the ones that the cheaters hate to see. This is the patented Menoth John anti-cheater machines. These are the proxy bases, but we'd like to call them the anti-cheater machines. It says "fuck you, cheater" on the bottom in kanji, transcribed by 600 Chinese workers in Beijing, and then you can stack them like this too, and then you've got an interesting pyramid-like shape. So if you want to get this, you could use that as a hill terrain, a very small hill terrain if you needed to. Like here's a Tuffalo still unpainted. And you'll notice that right now it has +2 defense, right there. So if you need +2 defense, you can use these. Then we have, along with the anti-cheater kit, we have the I Gotcha kit, which is the blast keys. Everybody else calls them blast keys. We call them I Gotcha. And this says blast you in kanji. Interestingly enough, John, blast you use the exact same letters in the Chinese as "fuck you, cheater." Hard to believe, huh?
Indeed, hard to believe.
I was shocked. I got the report from the foreman at the Chinese factory where these were made, and he was like, "No, sir, that is the same word in our language." So, also available for +2 defense. Right there. You see the majesty of this Tuffalo on the +2 defense? There you go. I throw that +2 defense in for free. We don't charge extra for that.
No, we don't.
So if you want a set of the precision measuring tools, you want to support the efforts here, I would suggest you get over there to Painting with Menoth, MusonMinis.com. You want to click on the store, and then you want to just kind of look for the precision measuring kits. It's on the front page right now. If they're smart, they're using that supply chain economics. They're going to keep it on the front page for an indeterminate amount of time, and then you can buy them, and they're cheap as free. They're like $40. So you can't get that much tiger blood and eagle soul and parakeet soul for $40 anywhere. So
no, you can't.
No, you go to the grocery store and you ask them for some freaking tiger blood, they're going to charge you more than $40. I promise you that.
They're going to charge you with something.
Yep. So, that's part of what we're here about here on Painting with Menoth, John. We've got that aspect to the show, but we also have these wonderful sponsors down below here. Discount Games Incorporated. You got your Greenleaf Terrain, and you got your Games and Gears. They help keep the lights on along with the fabulous patrons. Today we have a very, I want to say, salty guest. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have kids around the radio right now, you might want to put a little cotton in their ears, or perhaps ask them to leave the country. That's how bad this is going to get.
Leave the country.
You might want to get them to leave the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where this is going exactly, but not that we actually do anyway. Back from the original first episode of Painting with Menoth, John, tonight we have as our word from our sponsor, spokesmodel, Bullwinkle the Judicator for Discount Games Incorporated, Greenleaf Terrain, and Games and Gears. Hi. So, I could sit here and give you all the niceties, but I'm a little pissed off. Yeah, I know. I'm religious. I'm a Mennonite. I'm imbued with the soul of the Creator, not the soul of an eagle or whatever that shit is that Menoth John talks about. But I'm here to tell you, this Revelator crap is for the birds. I was the first and original Colossal. And I'm here to tell you that this other Johnny-come-lately, with his anti-stealth and his magic weapons and lack of concealment stuff, whatever, I got the pie plates of doom. He may have 2 4-inch pie plates, but I got up to 6. Well, okay, technically he's got 3, the same way I get 6, whatever. But and they're 4-inch, so your chances of actually hitting something are way better. And they ignore stealth and all that. Whatever. He's not as cool as I am. I'm the original. I'm Bullwinkle, and I'm here to tell you that I'm available at Discount Games Incorporated. The Revelator, he's not available at Discount Games Incorporated yet. So if you need some colossal action in your Protectorate army, we're here right now at Discount Games Incorporated. What Meneth John isn't going to tell you is, and maybe he will, I don't know. He moved on to Trolls. He's kind of a heretic. But is that Protectorate won this book. So I'm here to give you the lowdown that you can get all those other models for Protectorate at Discount Games Incorporated, and they'll get you the new ones when they come out, but they're not available yet. So, but anyway, I'm a little salty. I'm a little pissed off. Big boards. Message out to you. Privateer Press big boards. STFU. Just relax. This was a great book for everybody. It was especially good for Protectorate. Look at that, focused on me there. See? Now you can see me at my eyes. Oh, so beautiful. All right. So on behalf of that, you can put me on terrain, and I can get the hill bonus, I guess, although that's about all I'm going to get. You can get that Greenleaf terrain, and you can go to Canada for that, and Adam will ship it to you. Games and Gears. I was painted with paintbrushes, and paintbrushes are available from Games and Gears, and those are sold on the Muson store too. So when you're getting the soul of an eagle, you can get the brush of a sable, which is like a rat or an otter or something like that. It's an animal. So, but I'm sure the animal wasn't healthy when they took its fur, that it died of natural causes, and there's nothing you need to worry about from a bad thing standpoint. So we're very green here at Painting with Meneth John, except for when we're burning heretics. And I love burning them heretics. And message out to Fiora, or Fiora 2. This one's for you, babe. You best not put me on the sidelines for the new Sexy Jack or the new Colossal, because I'm your boyfriend and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. So, on behalf of Painting with Meneth John, I'm Adjudicator. I'm the Bullwinkle. I'm the one that started this whole show, so you better be giving me respect. And that's all I got to say. Show me the respect. Back to Painting with Meneth John. Well, that was less salty than I thought it was going to be, honestly, John.
Yeah, I think the salt sort of dried up towards the end there. He was getting a little better.
He's only the thing about a warjack is that when you run out of focus, you run out of being able to be too salty. And and he's not feeling the love these days from Fiora, I can promise you that.
Oh, I don't know about that, actually. I saw him with Fiora today in the Drop Zone Finals.
Oh.
And I mean, actually, the top table finals.
Oh, shut up. That means Brett made it to the finals.
He did. He was playing against another local, John Connor, with he was list locked into Butcher 1.
Okay. How'd he do?
Unfortunately, Connor was able to pull it out. Unfortunately for Brett.
Yeah.
Connor was able to pull it out, did some good work with all of this stuff, and pull out a win.
There's no shame in that game. Good job, Brett. Hats off to you.
He did get second place, though, so thumbs up there.
Little known fact is I taught Brett how to play Fiora. Fiora Adjudicator is all my list, and he'll give me credit for it, I think, if you asked him. So, but he's not here to ask right now, and so we'll just roll with it. All right.
Absolutely.
We got a lot to talk about here today, buddy.
We do indeed. Also, we need to give a shout out to Centervale for the new overlay on the show.
Yeah, we did that in the first time around, and then we goofed it up. So yeah, thank you very much, Centervale. Super amazing. Also, John, I wanted to give out a great shout out to Byron Lyles, I think is how you pronounce his last name. The first pictures of the precision measuring kit in use at Lock and Load. And I promised anybody that takes pictures and sends them in that we'll give you a special shout out. And the special shout is to you, Brian Lyles, a special Ron for purchasing the precision measuring kit. I hope that you used not only the anti-cheat, he did use the anti-cheat function of the round pieces, but I don't know that he fully took advantage of the +2 terrain +2 height and elevation thing. So on behalf of Painting with Menoth Giant Entertainment, hey, Ron.
Ron.
Okay, let's cut over to this presentation then here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about some consolidated spoilers. First off, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Chain Attack Trevor, otherwise known as Ye of the Ultra Beard, for compiling these for us. And we're going to get right to it. We're probably not going to spend as much time on the factions. John had a great idea when we started off the show today to kind of focus in more on the factions that John and I play on a regular basis, so that we could, offer some level of tech associated with it. And we'll go ahead and let's talk about that. We're going to start off with Protectorate and the caster I like to refer to as Menoth Fred. This is Anson Durst, Rock of Faith. John, you with me?
I am.
Okay. So what we got here is we have a 6-focus caster, because they don't let Protectorate really have anything like 7 or 8 anymore.
Or 10.
Yeah, well, 10. So, hey, we're going to get to Legion at some point, but do we call that a 12-focus caster? The first 12-focus caster in the game?
Nah, maybe 8-ish. Maybe 8 or 9-ish.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
We'll get to that later. I don't want to tip the hat. But so what we have here is the Paladin caster. We've been bitching about this for literally years, hoping for a Paladin caster, and now Anson Durst is here. He's a 13-18. John, can you confirm is he on a medium base or is he on a small base?
I think he's on a medium base, but I don't remember. Let me go check while you talk about him some more.
Okay. So he's got a very similar stat line, similar but not the same as High Paladin Vilmon. Obviously, Vilmon is a Mat 9, and he is a Mat 8. 13-18, so it's a very healthy, but in actuality, we're talking about a 13-20, because he has, because of his spell list that we'll get to here in just a second, trying to get this over here. So he's got Magic Weapon, he's got Reach, and he's got a Weapon Master. So PAL 15 Weapon Master is no joke, obviously. He's got a lot of abilities and things that are very unique, because he's got a combination of being a Jack caster, and many of his abilities are Jack related, and that kind of gets to his feat here, Bastion of Faith. So plus Battle Group gets +5 arm, so that pushes him up to armor 23. So you've got essentially the armor the first part of, you've got a Battle Group version of Striker 1's feat.
Mm-hmm.
And then when a friendly warrior model in Durst's control area is directly hit by an attack during your opponent's turn while in base-to-base with a Warjack in Durst's battle group, you can choose to have the Warjack directly hit instead. The Warjack is automatically hit and suffers all damage and effects, and it lasts for a round. So you've got this high armor on the battle group, and then you park all your dudes next to it, and if they get hit, essentially the super high armor Jack takes the hit instead. Pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got 5, 10, 15, 19 wounds. So that is a really high wound count for any model.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's, in the top 10% of casters out there.
Yep. He's a paladin, so he gets to have a stance. He's got Cornerstone, so he's got the no knockdown part of the book, and then he also has Lash essentially added onto that, so that if you're in base to base with him, you can't be knocked down, pushed, or made stationary either. So he's got Retaliatory Strike, which on a PAL 15 Weapon Master can make you sad, and then he's got Eruption of Ash. So if you are boxed by this thing, you center an 3-inch AoE on it, and then you RFP the model that you hit, and it turns into a smoke AoE, and anything that's in that AoE takes a PAL 12 fire damage roll, and it looks like it starts it on fire. That's the continuous fire logo on there, right?
Looks like it could be.
Okay.
I actually think it's just the fire. I think it's just the fire. I don't think it's continuous fire.
Okay. I thought I saw the little arrow underneath there, but
it might be. I can't get a good enough picture of it.
Yeah. Neither of us actually have the book in front of us, so that you get what you get.
It is fire continuous effect. I can tell by something else.
Okay.
And he is a 40 millimeter.
Okay. Very good. So he's medium base. So he's got a really interesting spell list. He's got Boundless Charge. So, hey, Protectorate Jax. Woohoo!
It's a good one. It's what they wanted.
Yep, and it's spammable. So you got that going for you. Cleansing Fire.
Yeah. If you got to have a crappy nuke, that's a decent one.
Yep. POW 14 is no joke, and it's an AoE 3.
And, yep, just in case.
Yep. Deflection puts all of his Jax. So it's a +2 against ranged and magic attacks.
Doesn't affect Jax, only warrior models.
Oh, I'm sorry, warrior models. I'm sorry. So deflection.
Don't feel bad. I've made that mistake before.
Yep. Hallowed Avenger, which can be somewhat trouble, but he's only got two upkeeps. Hallowed Avenger and Wall of Steel. So if you kill something within 5 inches of a Jack, it walks over and punches you. And
charges over and punches you.
Charges over and punches you.
Yeah.
And let's see that after the attack is resolved. So it happens. It's an out of activation type of a thing, and it's not in your control phase.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wall of Steel, when this is a new one. While in this model's control area and base to base with one or more models in this model's battle group, models in this model's battle group cannot be knocked down and gain +2 defense. So, defense 14 Reckoners. So that's
effectively, that's pretty good.
That's good. Can't argue with that. So I'm pretty.
Makes you cluster up, makes you a little vulnerable to stuff like black oil, but still a good ability.
Yeah, I think it's a darn solid spell list. He's going to want to cast a lot of it, and with deflection not being an upkeep, it's going to be one of those things where he's going to be having to be very selective on when he's going to use some of these spells and how many jacks he's going to actually take. I kind of see him as maybe a 2-jack caster because with
I feel like maybe 2 heavies and a light might be the best way to go. If you go cheaper, you might be able to go 2 and 2.
Yep. Cool. So there you go. That's Menoth Fred. Pretty impressed. Love him.
Yeah, he's good. He's solid. I feel like some people are maybe calling him a little better than he is, but he's definitely playable. And if it's a 3-list format, he's definitely would be on your plate there.
Yeah, I saw him. I think Mike Perrier was actually playing with him this weekend.
Mm-hmm, he was, yeah.
So here's his theme list. I think the theme of the theme list this year in this book we're not giving you bananas crazy theme lists. We may have.
No,
go ahead.
The theme list is let's calm down a little bit here.
Yeah. Calm down.
Unless your name is Morgul 2 in the new book and you get to go no more advanced deploy for my opponent. That's some crazy.
Yep. No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember, but it's crazy.
So Morgul 2 got a new theme list. Do we know there was going to be 2 of them? Do we know what
there's a Thyra 1, I think, or not Thyra, Fiora 1 also, I think. I didn't pay attention because I don't care about her.
No, that's fine. Very few people do. So
yeah.
So anyway, so we get at tier 1 we get the Warjacks. You can take non-character Warjacks. You get to take Choir, Paladin units, which don't exist yet, and Temple Flame Guard, Paladin solos, Temple Flame Guard solos, and Vassal solos. So pretty interesting stuff here. I mean, you're going to have the first tier you get the army can include only models above. For each unit in the army, you get to increase the FA of Paladin in the Order of the Walls by 1. Turns out I have a lot of Paladins. So
fair enough.
So it'll work out. Army includes 1 or more Temple Flame Guard units. I can field 3 units of Temple Flame Guard. And
free FA is pretty cool. Free UA with no FA restrictions, good.
Yep. I only have 2 unit attachments. So then tier 3, you put in high Paladin Vilmon because why wouldn't you? And
cool.
Paladins get advanced move. They're already
It's great for them because they tend to slow down a bit because of their abilities.
Yep. So they get them out in front.
Amazing.
That's really wonderful for them. So they're going to be able to be out there in Stone and Mortar or Impervious Wall right away.
Mm-hmm.
The army includes 2 or more Warjacks with a shield advantage. So he's going to be looking at probably the Templars as a possible one. Or go ahead.
I think you'd probably skip this tier. Free focus is pretty good, but he's not like hurting between his upkeeps and all to be given out focus. So that might be one if you've got a good ability, get to it. But if not, just go with the tier 3 where it's really solid.
I think Judicator is going to like this list. Is going to like this one. So
Who knew?
putting your guys next to Adjudicator, and then on that feat turn, pawning off their stuff to a +5 armor Adjudicator with
Yeah.
3 vassal mechanics sitting behind him is going to be pretty dramatic. I think that's going to be pretty amazing. So, we gotta kind of keep moving forward here on this one.
Yeah.
But so here we have first light jack we've got in quite a while. It's very hard to see. I apologize, folks. This is the Purifier. When this guy walks into base to base, and everybody catches on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Then it has Overtake, and it
Yep.
has so that's a 1-inch move after you kill something, or is it after you hit something?
After you kill an enemy warrior model.
Enemy warrior model, okay. And then Immolator is the weapons, and it's a chain attack combustion. So essentially, if you hit the same model twice, you get to do the combustion, which is a 2-inch POW 12. Everybody starts on fire,
which is really good. And both of his emulator weapons are POW 13 chain weapons.
Yep. So they're POW 15s, MAT 8.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yep.
It's a good little jack. 5 points, a little hard to fit in a 5-point light jack, but it's still pretty cool.
It's the point value of a devout. The devout, what the devout gives you in utility, this one gives you in work. So,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes. It's only an armor 16, and so you'll have to kind of pick your battles with this one a little bit.
But
And
it's
then-
definitely solid. It's definitely what you want from a light jack, something you'd consider playing.
Absolutely. I will own this jack on the day of release. This is the Hand of Judgment.
He's okay.
Oh, this jack is so effing hot. Oh my god.
He's not hot. He's immune to fire.
Ba-dum-bum. So he is a 10-19 as jacks are wont to be, and he is speed goddamn 5 with reach. Hot
Yep.
damn. He's got an 8-inch spray on a POW 14, so it's a heavy flamer, essentially.
And it's boosted range attack rolls if he's in Fiora's battle group and control area.
Yup, absolutely. And then if you are within 5, if his target is within 5 inches, it's not a POW 14, it's a POW 16, which means between you, me, and the kids, it's a POW 18. So,
Yep.
damn, it's a POW Rat 7 boosted. Oh my God, I'm telling you, man, I'm coming back. Protectorate, I'm coming back to you.
Yep, and his Flame of Truth, his melee weapon is PNS 18 with critical fire, reach, and flame burst. So if you box enemy model with it, everyone within 1 inch is set on fire. And those fire continuous effect damage rolls, if you're within 5 inches, will also be +2 to the damage roll.
So, folks, you're running the Hand of Judgment, the Avatar, and Adjudicator with Fiora. Who do you kill first?
All of them. That's just what I do.
Holy cow. Who do you kill first? Whoever gets to you is just going to kill you. Oh, my
you go
God.
with Hand of Judgment first because he's the easiest damage to range of effect ability there.
Yep. Oh, my God. This thing is just amazing. I'm so excited.
It's following with the recent spat of character jacks and being really good. I mean, it is 10 points, so for a 10-point jack, you should be getting about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Avatar. It's, in my opinion, this is Avatar style love. It is 1 point less damage, but it's got a gun. It doesn't have spell ward on it, but okay. And
It also doesn't have a shield, so it's a little bit squishier, though. I mean, the Menoth Jack is never really squishy.
Yep.
So it's really good.
Yep. So you'll take some mechanics with this guy to help make sure he stays turned on, and he is amazing. Just love this jack. Let's keep on moving here.
Yep. Next is the Pyros.
No, this is
Pyros?
Revelator.
Oh, Revelator? No one cares about that thing. Come on.
Oh, come on. So the Revelator has 4 initial guns. He has 2 POW 14 light bringers, which if you hit on a model directly
Range 14, POW 12.
POW 12. If you're directly hit,
Yeah.
you lose your stealth and camouflage.
Yep.
And then he has 2 POW 10 4-inch pie plates at a POW 15, which will set you on fire and are
Actually,
essentially
they don't set on fire. They're just damage type fire.
and the fire continuous effect. Isn't that at the bottom on the configuratory?
Models entering or ending their activations in the AoE would
Oh,
suffer the
thank you.
fire. So you actually have a chance to run out of it.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, but if you bonded him, just saying,
Oh,
if you bonded
yeah,
him,
he's pretty solid. I mean, he's more expensive than Judicator, isn't he? At 19 points, is that more?
I
One more?
believe the Judicator's the same. I believe the Judicator's
the
the
same?
19. Yeah.
Oh, well, he just doesn't get the extra one focus, so it's pretty even with it. I feel like it's going to be, a toss up which one you want to take.
I agree. I completely agree. And I think that, there's another thing that if you double colossals are being talked about again, this guy paired with Adjudicator, I think offer you a lot of utility because you get this one, you can take out your stealth and those kinds of things, and you've got magic weapons on a stick. The Adjudicator is your big brawny guy, kind of go out there and get your more normal troops and is going to hit them with the POW 9 blast damage and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a plus. Check me if I'm wrong here because my picture isn't all that great. Do I have to actually hit anything to drop the 4-inch? You can't come here. Pie plate.
On a direct hit against an enemy model, yes.
Okay, so I actually have to
So
hit
you have
something.
to hit you have to hit an enemy model even, not even a friendly.
Okay, so once again, Stormwall's a piece of shit and can die in a fire. All right, so let's talk about Pyrrhus.
Yeah.
Pyrrhus is super awesome. Love this guy. 3-point solo. So I mean, I think one of the things you're seeing here is they are ramping up the points on some of these solos. A few less 2-point solos, a little fewer more 3-point solos. But boy, what he brings to the party.
They're giving him the abilities to go with it, though.
Absolutely.
He's a 15-15. I didn't realize that first time I looked at him.
Oh.
15-15.
That is hard to deal with.
Sink in with that, yeah. Plus, he's fearless, tough, and the one I'm sure you want to talk about is the impenetrable shield, where if he's in base-to-base with one or more friendly Temple Flame Guard models, he does not suffer damage from non-magical melee or ranged attacks.
Yep.
And that's legit.
That's totally legit. The other thing that gets me all warm is the fact that he gives relentless charge to the to the Flame Guard. So getting Pathfinder, it's always a balancing act when you're playing Protectorate. Is where do I put my Rupert and in order to get the Pathfinder? Now you could have the Temple Flame Guard and have Pyrrhus take care of that along with a whole bunch of other crap, and then you could have the Rupert kind of hanging out with a different unit. So really super good. A little bit more help with some of the what do they call it? The inhospitable ground casters.
Yeah, any sort of, or if you get a bad matchup, a bad table where you're stuck with some difficult terrain where you don't want it, it'll help out with that too.
Right. You can put those guys behind a wall, let's say, and then be able to charge them out so that they become, their base 13, get them on up to 17 against ranged, put the deflection up, and then against on their feet turn, they go in shield wall, they go up to what? 18, I believe it's 21.
19,
20.
I think. They'll be 19 because they're 13 base, 14, or 13 base, 17 because of shield wall, 21. Yeah, 23 against shooting.
Yeah, 23 against shooting with deflection and Iron Zeal. So pretty crazy talk. I love Temple Flame Guard. My God, they're so much. Defense 15 against the charge. Man, they're awesome.
He has set defense also, so he's def 17 versus a charge, and he's got unyielding to be armor 17 versus a charging model.
Nice. 17-17. He's got beatback on his shield.
Yeah, on his shield.
Yep.
His Weapon Master shield, just in case.
There you go. So POW 12 Weapon Master with reach on the way in, and then he's got but I don't see that starts anything on fire. So it's called a Flame Spear, but it doesn't have the fire continuous effect. So
sometimes all you need for a name is coolness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so that's Pyrrhus. Now we're going to move on to Mercs. And, John, I'm going to rely a little bit more heavily on you during this discussion because you're our Merc expert. Here we go. Cognifex Siphon, the second Cephalix Warcaster.
Oh, my God. He is so good. So good. I'm going to try and hit the highlights fairly quickly here. Luckily, Mercs are kind of short because so many of these have been spoiled already because we already have the Steelhead solo has been spoiled and we already have the Double Shadow Mutineers, so thumbs up there.
Yep.
He's got a spray 10 at Rat 6, which is amazing. It's only POW 10, but it also magical and it has silencer on it. So if you hit somebody with it directly, they can't cast spells for a round,
Ooh.
which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's very cool. He doesn't have any ability to channel through his monstrosities, but he can sack a drudge when he casts a spell to get +5 rage, which is kind of cool.
That's very good.
And then his feat makes his monstrosities crazy because they get +3 speed, strength, and armor for a round.
So many boxes to chew through at such high armor.
Now they take 1 point of damage to each column, but that's a small price to pay. Honestly, if you take 2 hits during the turn, you will have already made up what you took in damage to begin with. And at +3 speed, they're speed 8, and the one you're going to use has got reach also. And he's going to be like POW 20 if you don't have any other buffs on him. So, pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
good.
really good. I'll tell you what, with some of the stuff coming in here, the Cephalix hit so damn hard.
Mm-hmm. And he even makes that worse because he's got Affliction. So, he can put that enemy unit in one of those ones that's just, really tough to do damage to and be like, all right, I hit you, but as long as I hit, you're going to take at least 1 point of damage.
Yep.
Because if you don't exceed the armor, they take 1. So that's pretty good.
That is good.
And he's got the Breath Stealer, which is, amazing in multiple ways. You can pop it on him and just rely on the -2 speed to have him not be able to reach you, or you can take the -2 defense and hit him a lot easier when you get him.
Exactly.
And he has the Onslaught, which was given out sort of like candy this book, but
Yeah, it kind of was.
the factions that got it really needed it. And it pretty much solves it. It's an upkeep that lets friendly faction models beginning a charge in its control area gain Pathfinder during the charge, which is amazing. Yep. That was one of the weak points of Cephalix.
So up against an inhospitable ground, they were really in a tough spot.
Yeah. And then he follows it up. He's got a +2 armor spell that also makes the model unit not be able to be pushed or moved by a slam or throw.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got Gallows and finishes off with a new nuke called Empathic Overload, which is a range 8 AoE 4 POW 12 that does POW 12 to anyone hit by it, and if he targets a friendly model with it, it automatically hits. So he can do the whole run it in the middle of a unit and kill a bunch of dudes.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, if you're in a, if they're worried about maybe some of the higher defense things like Kazi or what have you, there you go. It automatically hits. You got the 4-inch AoE, and POW 6s are going to make Kayazi relatively sad.
Very sad. It's POW 12. It's POW 12.
I'm sorry, POW 12. Yep, POW 12.
Yeah.
They're
so
straight up
even
dead.
those crazy to hit Temple Flame Guard, POW 12 and all of them is not happy if they're not on their mini feet.
Oh God, no, they're definitely checking their shorts at that point.
Yeah. I don't have his theme list here, but I remember it pretty well. It's pretty much all mercenary Cephalix stuff. So there's a little question whether or not we can take the Mind Slaver. We'll see. It's really good because it gives if you get to the right tier, it gives his drudges +2 speed on turn 1, and also gives his monstrosities advanced move. So he'll be really far up the board. And he caps it off with a free minimum size units of Mind Slavers at the end, which is cool. Free points is one of those things that everyone wants to see in a theme list.
Yep. So we'll see how it works out as far as whether or not he goes this way or if it's just a straight Cephalix type contract type of thing. So very good. You actually, I have the actual one up here, John,
yeah, and
you captured it absolutely beautifully. Oh, and here we go. I can't wait to hear your opinion of this thing. I'm in love with this thing already. I think it looks really cool.
All right. Well, what's the next one?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Hammerfall Siege Crawler.
The Siege Crawler. This is the one model that even almost everyone on the internet agrees is good, which is amazing.
Yep.
It's speed 5, which is faster than we were expecting.
Everybody thought a 4.
6, Rat 6, which was amazing.
Yep.
It has no boosting mechanics, so the Rat 6 is key to making its gun be able to do some work. It is def, who cares, and armor 20.
Yep.
And it has a quad cannon with no lineup with a whole front arc fire that gets D3 +1 auto fire shots at range 10 POW 12. Pretty solid. Then its other guns are Siege Breakers, which are range 12 AoE 4 POW 15s with crit stagger, which is
Jesus.
one of my favorite critical effects. It makes a lot of things very, very sad. If you can get a crit on a Colossal with this, it makes them a very sad panda.
Oh yeah. All of a sudden, you don't have any initial attacks.
Yep, and no power attack or no power attacks or special attacks at all. So
Yep.
none of that crazy stuff. Just start buying attacks, sucker.
Yep.
And it's got 2 of those, 1 in each arc, so that's legit.
Yep.
And it also has a bash, POW 15 bash. Seems kind of weird to have, but it's a weapons platform, so it can make melee and range attacks in the same turn and fire while it's in melee.
It's a little bit like a Speed 5 cavalry model with an impact attack.
Yeah, you can charge into something, bash it, and then fire your guns off to your heart's content.
I think it's amazing.
It actually even comes with bulldoze just in case.
Yep.
And girded.
Yep. So you got something that you want to make sure it doesn't get blast damaged. Boom. Stick it right next to it. Just touch it in base to base there, and he's safe as can be.
Yeah, as you limit, love it. They'll be popping on the side of it and then firing off in different angles to kill stuff.
Yep.
And then it's all that's wrapped up in a damage 22 package, like I said, with the armor 20, and it's only 9 points.
Yep. It's really good. It's I think this is one that you're going to see standing next to an Earthbreaker, just making stuff sad.
Yeah, it's a good option. My Mad Hammer list may not take it inherently because I use a gun mages with Mule, but if I'm playing him in 4-star and I can't take gun mages, hey, maybe this is what I want.
I can easily see a list with Osram on this one, where you are hot swapping snipe back and forth between the Earthbreaker and this thing, and just having a good time with it.
Or if you need to, you can just give this one fire for effect and have one of the Siege Breakers be fully boosted.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always good fun.
Especially if you're going into a Colossal, you get that first one on there. Maybe you get the lucky crit, and then it's good times for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yep. So let's move on to the River Raiders, the Swamp Gobber River Raiders.
My favorite release of the book. They're so fluffy and amazing. Now,
Yeah.
I first saw these guys and I'm like, this is going to be weird. They have harpoon pistols and they drag themselves in. What's that about? And they're very sneaky. You look at their stat block and you're like, what's this about? It's speed 6, mat 5, rat 5, which is not horrible.
Yep.
Def 14, armor 12, no boxes. And they have a range 6 POW 10 harpoon pistol that, like I said, if you hit, you get to reel yourself into the model.
Mhm.
But what you don't realize is it's placed base to base with the model, not pushed. So you can be behind the model or wherever you want in base with that model.
Huh.
So it's sneaky like that. It gets, their rules sneak up on you. And then they have a hand weapon, which, since they are Sea Dogs and Privateers, they can benefit from Hawk.
Sure.
So that's not nothing. And their hand weapon has weaken. So if you do manage to hit a living model, it gets -2 strength and defense for a round, which may help them live if they're fighting against something more their speed, or may be a setup against a beast to make it easier to hit so your jack can get more value out of its focus.
Or maybe it's something that you just use that reel in, you popped into its back arc. Now you're sitting there they're gonna say, well, I'll take that POW 6 that POW 6 free strike. Bam, -2 strength, -2 defense, and maybe that's the difference between finishing off whatever that thing's intended target was and not finishing it off.
Yep. And on a good note is someone mentioned you can hit a Colossal with that, go behind them, and start poking the squishy support stats because they have Virtuoso.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. And they also get Camouflage, which is cool. Makes them a little more survivable if they're in concealment or cover. And they advance deployment. And the sneakiest part is that they're solos, and
Right.
3 of them is 2 points.
Yep, so that's really cheap. Hey,
And
there's
you can have field allowance 3, so you can have up to 9 of them.
I was just going to say, I was looking for the field allowance there. It's like, how many of these things can you have?
Oh, I'm gonna get 3 packs of them.
Yep.
So they're just gonna be super fun.
Yep, and they're going to be amazing models. They always do a great job with the gobbers, making them super fluffy and cool and cute and stuff like that. So they're going to be neat.
Absolutely. So they're super fun. They are my favorite release of the book. for Mercs at least.
Terrific. Hey, we've got 34 people watching us right now, John.
We do.
The new thing about
Well,
XSplit, I can actually see the viewers. That's amazing.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's cool. Well, let's keep rolling. Like I said, we don't have a lot of flippity bloops, just like 3 from this week, so we got a little more time to roll if we want to go through your least favorite faction you play and one of my favorites.
I have a hate relationship with Rhett, but I still love him. You know, I still love him, and I love him more after Thyron. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, he's crazy good.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
You've got better pictures than I do, John, and you're even more of a fan than I am on this one. So let's let you lead the discussion
all
here.
right. Thyron, Sword of Truth. He's a new retcaster from a new house that is coming out. Not much to go with him as far as his house troops yet, but he's cool. So he's speed 6, mat 7, rat 5. The rat doesn't matter. He didn't have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Def 15, armor 16, but that's a little bit, deceptive because he's got abilities. And
yes, he does.
He has a reach magical POW 13 weapon master weapon.
Man.
Yeah, and he's 6 focus, which is what you expect, at damage 18. So he's on a medium base, so deceptively a little looks a little squishier, but he's got the abilities to help him out.
Yep.
And he has that spoiled Blades of Vengeance feat that everyone was thinking was Gareth 2.
Right.
So you get additional die on melee attack rolls and sidestep. So that's amazing.
Yep. And that's all infantry models in his control area?
Friendly faction models beginning their activation in control area.
Friendly faction models. So Jacks get it, as well as people like the Dawn Guard will get it, or a Desperate Paste House Guard Halberdier will get it. Oh my God, so much death in so many places.
Yep. And he even still comes with a bunch more special abilities. He's got Blade Shield, so he gets +2 defense against range attack rolls.
Yep.
Gave him a 17, which is really good. He gets Field Marshal Cleave, which is the first Field Marshal in Ret, so that him and the other models in the battle group get an extra attack if they kill one or more models with a melee attack during its activation, which is great for just efficiency.
Now, does that trigger each time it kills one, or is it only once per activation?
Once per activation.
Okay.
But with his feat, you're looking at extra die to hit, free attack, sidestep. It's tasty.
Yes, it is. Now, quick question on the Blade Shield. It's +2 defense. Is he base 16 or is he base 15?
Base 15. So.
Oh, he's base
17 is pretty good still.
Wow, I can't read my picture very well. I thought that looks like a 6, but 15. Okay.
15, 16 actually. 16 armor.
So he goes up to 18 on the Blade Shield.
17 defense, 16 armor with Blade Shield.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a defensive effect. I'm sorry.
Defense,
I'm an idiot. Never mind.
No
worries.
Duh. And he also has riposte, so if you miss with a melee attack, he gets to make an attack back, which is really good.
Yep.
And then I'll go straight into the main event, which is Storm Rager, which, for those of you who don't play Pirates or Grail, is target-friendly faction warrior model, gains +2 strength, mat, and armor, and cannot be targeted by combined ranged or combined melee attacks.
Yep.
And yes, sir, that is an upkeep. So with that on him, he's, PNS 15, mat 9, and armor 18.
Or you have a mat 9, POW strength 11 weapon master with decapitation mage hunter assassin. Oh.
Yep, who can't be combined melee attacked, which is honestly a way those guys die quite a bit.
Yep. Oh my God. So
Or the
sexy.
Pain Knight. Scaradician with that on it. I don't even want to say stats because I'll get them wrong. They're so crazy. People wouldn't believe them, but look it up. He's crazy good with it.
It's like Matt 11 on the charge, or Matt. Let's see, Matt
12,
8.
I think on charge. I think he's 8 base.
Yeah, yep, 8 up to Matt 12. POW strength 17.
Yeah, 17 weapon master.
Weapon master. Yeah,
he will destroy things. He
with
will
2
kill
hits.
everything you love.
With 2 hits.
Yep. And Narn. Think about Narn. Oh, Narn with it's just off the chain. He's Mat 10 also.
This is the greatest thing ever.
My favorite sneaky thought is everyone forgets that you can put a model upkeep on just one model of a unit. Maybe you've got Mage Hunter Infiltrators with Eris 3 and you go, I'll put it on Eris 3.
Does it
She's got
propagate?
2 weapon master attacks. Yeah, it works just for her.
Yeah.
So she'll go up to like Mat 8 or something like that.
Yep.
And +2 strength, making her in the 10-ish area with her 2 weapon master attacks, which is pretty good.
Yep. So.
And all that was just one spell, and we were like, at that point, we were happy.
Oh God, yeah.
They gave us more.
Oh yeah.
I'll go in reverse order here.
Sure.
They got Spell Piercer, which is the one that Jaga Jaga got.
Yep.
So friendly faction models and units, weapons game, magical weapon, and blessed in control area, which is amazing on Sentinels.
That's so good.
Oh my God. They're like, no, we don't care anymore. We're just going to kill you.
Yeah, 0 shits given at this point.
Yes. And it's all weapons, so it's even Invictor's like, how about blessed magical Invictor guns for CRAs? That's always good, right?
Can't be bad.
Oh, yeah. And then another thing that the faction loves is Onslaught.
Yep.
As you previously stated, pretty much fixes a problem.
Yeah. They continue to fix a problem, which is great.
Yeah, and it's the best way, I think, to fix a problem. It's not as crazy as True Path or anything like that. It's just enough that you're like, okay, that fixes the problem. That's good enough.
Yep.
Don't need to go crazy.
Agreed.
And then Assail, which we liking on a Banshee. It's a target-friendly faction. Warjack can charge or make slam or trample power attacks without spending focus. It gets +2 movement when it charges or makes a slam or trample power attack. And models slammed by the Warjack are moved +2 inches, and that's an upkeep. And the Banshee's gun slams, and currently that works together. So, hey, little wombo combo there.
There you go.
And they rounded a spell list with his only nuke, which is Ground Zero, which is AoE 5 placed on him. Everyone under it takes POW 15 and then push D6 directly away from them.
Yep,
Pretty
which
good.
In the right situation can be situationally brilliant. So
yeah.
So
I'm going to skip this theme list entirely because we're running out of time a bit.
Okay. I don't mind if we go a little bit late on this show, to be honest. But we can skip it. So it's not.
Yeah, the theme list.
It's cool.
The theme list is okay. I don't think it's amazing. It's okay. I'm sure there's some future in it though.
Yeah. +1 roll at tier 3, which is always a good thing. Helios.
Helios is amazing. He's one of the most hit or miss as far as the internet opinions models go.
Yep.
He's Colossal, same exact grid as the Hyperion, meaning he's the toughest Colossal still. His only gun is a range 12 rate of fire 1 tractor beam, but he gets 3 shots when he fires it.
Yep.
And it's got force grip, so if it's hit by this weapon, it can be pushed up to 3 inches in any direction. I'll note now that he has Virtuoso.
Sure, so he can charge in there and punch and then
or he can walk forward, shoot you 3 times, drag you into his fist, and then punch you to death with his Inferno fists, which are POW 20 open fists with continuous effect fire and fire burst. So if he kills a model, everyone within 1 inch becomes on fire. And he's immune to fire, giving a giant middle finger to Ravagors everywhere. Makes my heart sing a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got force barrier inherently, so he's basically def 12 versus range attack and immune to blast damage. And then his main thing, aside from the tractor beam, is this cool force gate ability, whereas during his activation, he can spend a focus to gain an ability. 1 ability per point spent, so you can spend up to 3 on it because there's 3 abilities. I'm going to go in reverse order because they're kind of better that way.
Sure.
Repulsor Field is when this model is hit with a melee attack, after the attack is resolved, the attacking model is pushed 1 inch directly away from the model, which is amazing. It makes him unkillable by non-reach heavies.
Yep.
And honestly, most reach heavies can't do it either.
Yep.
Malik Karn's got a chance because he's got sidestep, so he'll be able to get 4 attacks on that, but after that attack, he's out of range again. And that's assuming you didn't use the second ability, which is called Distortion Field, which gives it +2 defense in general and Poltergeist. When a model misses a model with Poltergeist, it gets pushed back D3 directly away from it. So with both of those, if you just need to hold a zone, heavies are going to get like 1 hit and then be out of range.
Flying out of the area.
And it is def 12, so it's not like an easy hit either.
No.
You need to get pretty good.
Yep.
And then Broadcast Power is the main event. And they're actually talking about it in the chat room right now. And it's allocate 1 focus point to each friendly Myrmidon within 3 inches of this model.
Focus multiplier, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're immediately looking at Viros 2 with this. He replaces Imperatus and 5 points other stuff because he's only 17 points. So he's the cheapest Colossal at 17. and
Wow, does
just
he turn Viros 2 on?
yes, and he's the greatest. I mean, Imperatus was a great, keystone model after you get your synergy up. This guy's just next level because POW 20 base is pretty amazing, and you get 2 or 3 on your synergy, and he's just off the chain because he's a colossal for fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
And early on, he's just giving your Griffins focus, so you can be more focus efficient and just fire him off.
Yep.
It's super cool. Many of us are happy. Some people are not as happy, but those guys are haters and they're just not thinking.
Yep.
He's gonna be good fun.
Looks
and
great.
He's exactly the type of toolbox I want to see.
Yep. You know, we knew when he didn't have an offensive gun that he was going to be a toolbox heavy model. And I think that, if you show a little creativity, I think it's going to really show in that model. So now we got the Solus Void Tracer.
Solus Void Tracer. Let me get to him. Here we go. He's pretty cool. He's a Mage Hunter solo. He's also Solus, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He's Mat 6, Def 13, Armor 13 with a POW 12, PNS 12 twin-edged sword, but that's not why you take him.
Nope.
He's 1 point, FA2, fearless and stealth. He has Spell Ward. Obviously, he's Solus, no soul token when he's destroyed. His weapon is Reach with and magical, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the reason you take him is Arcane Vacuum, and it's when a model in this model's command range is targeted by an enemy spell. Before the spell is resolved, the enemy spellcaster takes D3 damage points. Now, he's only command 5, but it's really cool to put him near, models you don't want to die and be like, oh, your druids want to cast a spell at this unit? Well, they're just going to die if they do so.
Absolutely. Take that, Druids of Ouroboros.
Yep.
Awesome. Looking good. Let's move on to the Electromancers. I think this is one that there's a lot of controversy as to how good or not good they are.
Which is amazing because they're good. This just in. Now, they're Speed 6, Mat 6, Rat 6, and a little squishy at Def 13, Arm 12, but solid command a 9. They're immune to electricity. They have, we'll go with their melee weapon first, which is Storm Inducer, which is magical with reach and does Cortex damage.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in a pinch, they can go pop a Cortex off a Jack.
Sure.
Then their range attack is the Inducer Bolt, which is range 10, POW 12, with 3 different abilities. One is kind of weird. It's called Energy Leak, and if you hit a Warjack with it, it suffers a cumulative -1 penalty to force allocation limit for 1 round.
So, can you hit a Colossal 3 times and make it unallocatable?
No, because it also says that models that are immune to disruption are immune to Energy Leak.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, but they're still pretty good. I mean, honestly, anyone else, you're like, oh, I don't want the Thorn running towards me. Well, hit him 3 times. He's not running because he can't get focus.
That's right.
And then the second one is Lightning Generator, which is a common ability. It's basically a D3 Electroleaps if on a hit, which is pretty good.
That is good.
And then the one people are sort of up in the air about with someone like Ossian, who buffs damage for range, is Pulse Fire. If you hit with the weapon, it does D3 damage rolls instead of 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's solid. I mean, they're not going to blow the world up, but they are, for everyone who doesn't like, say, Stormfall Archers, because Stormfall Archers are one-dimensional, these guys, melee in a pinch at Mat 6 is not bad. Now, they don't have any boxes, which is a lot of people's complaint, but, not everything can be Tactical Arcanist Corps who pay for it in speed or lack thereof.
It's kind of a retribution take on the Greylord's Turning, if you think about it.
Yeah.
They don't have boxes either. They have some interesting cumulative effect kind of things. They just got a few more tools in the bucket than necessarily the Turnian do, but it's kind of Retribution's Greylords. So there you go.
Yeah. And it's only 4 points for 3 of them, which is a pretty solid price. I mean, like I said, if people are thinking it's a good unit that they can use.
Absolutely. Now we're into the factions we don't have quite as much to say about, I would say, John. So we've got this is Zerkova 2. She looks like she's going to see a lot more table time than Zerkova 1 did. Really interesting here. You've got the Reach Weapon Master, POW 12, Doom Reaver guys. You've got her feat, which is friendly faction models currently in Zerkova's control area can immediately cast 1 spell without
Mhm.
spending focus or performing a special action or performing. So, with the Grey Lords or the Grey Lord horses, there are going to be some things that are going to go off that all those if those ponies are. I mean, the pony Grey Lords are certainly a thing already, and they're going to get to fire their things one more time.
Absolutely. She's really cool. She's kind of one dimensional since she's all about magic, and everyone's list with her is all about magic, 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 magic.
Yeah.
And I think people need to back off that a little bit. You don't want to be that one dimensional, to be honest. But she's got some good abilities, and she's definitely going to see some use.
Absolutely. So we've got we've got the back of the cards here that, quite frankly, I'm having a very, very difficult time even reading on here. The Berserkers come with Silence, which is nice. Their Sacred Ward, obviously.
Yep.
They're Doom Reavers. They've got Countercharge. That's kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's super cool.
She can sack to a model within 3 inches, and she's got quite a spell list. She's got Banishing Ward, which is always good. She's got Dissolution Bolt for a POW 12. She's got Hoarfrost, which is very fluffy for her with the cold and all that kind of stuff. Hoarfrost
And
is
a pretty good spell.
a darn good spell at a POW 14 AoE 3. Occult Whispers. They get an additional die on magic attacks. Once again, continuing with that theme of magic-y, Greylordy things. She's got the Sack Lamb, so she can allocate to some focus. And then she's got Telgesh Mark. We have a Fiona the Black spell. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Arknote on a stick for Khador. You finally got it, Khador. Shut the F up.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to hear anything about the lack of arc nodes in Khador ever again. So there you go. Theme list, +1 on the starting roll is tier 3. You get an advanced move for a Warjack, whoop-de-doo. And
You're allowed to take a mercenary unit with magic ability as long as you put Valachev on it, which is kind of interesting, I thought.
So Army can include 1 mercenary unit if that unit includes Captain Valachev. So there you go.
Yeah.
So Merc unit of any type, which is interesting. So
yeah,
there
and you get
go.
a further ability if it's got light, if it's like tack, I think it is.
I'm just reading it here. The Army can include. Okay, I didn't see that extra ability, but that's fine. Whatever. Read the card. Damn it. Buy the book. This is a damn good book. Buy the damn book. Reward Privateer for putting out a book this good.
Absolutely.
Here is a new Jack, another heavy war Jack for Khador. This is Rager. It's got aggressive, so you don't have to spend a focus. So I believe, John, catch me if I'm wrong, but both of the Khador Jacks are based on the Berserker frame.
They are.
And it's got Shield Guard, super awesome. It's got everybody's favorite ability, Unstable. And then you have Shield, so it's an Armor 22.
Armor 20.
Oh, it's only got 1 shield. I'm sorry, Armor 20. So POW 15 on its cannon. That's impressive.
Yeah, shield cannon, kind of interesting.
Yep.
It's kind of cool.
It's like they took a Man of War and kind of made it into a Jack. So and then it's got a POW 15 sword and a POW 12 shield. Solid Jack.
It's solid. It's 6 point shield guards. It's cheaper than taking a Vanguard by any way in that list with Gaston or with the Troll Blood, the mechanic, Rallic Moorclaw. So it's pretty good.
Yep, I think it's good. So shut up, Khador. All right, so then we have the Mad Dog. I don't know, John, if I got this in your packet or not, but the Mad Dog is once again based on the same frame. It's an 11-18. It's a 14-14. We've got Jury Rigged for speed.
Yep.
So +2 speed gets it up to 6 speed, and it takes 1 damage in its movement when you do that. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you get to do that 3 times before you blow up. It's unstable also. And what's that last ability?
It has Crusher, so this model gains additional die on trample attack rolls, and can make trample power attacks without spending focus.
Oh, there you go. So that seems
More
legit.
importantly, it's a 5-point heavy.
A 5-point heavy.
It's not a very good heavy though. It's Mat 5 with 2 POW 14s. If you feel like you want a trample bot, it's a good trample bot. Unfortunately, it's got the Scornergy of Jury Rigged, which is not a very good ability. and even worse on this than on a freebooter, since if you use it, you might blow up.
All right. Well, go ahead and buy it, Kador,
Yeah,
because we hate you. So
hey, it's a 5-point jack. I mean, honestly, if you only need PAL 14s, it's not bad, and it tramples all over the place for free.
yeah. So you got that going
It's
for
got
you.
potential.
You got that going for you. And then Major Prime Victoria Haley. I don't think we really need to even mention her.
We skipped Victor. Let's talk about Victor.
I missed it on my sheet. I must have eliminated it off my PowerPoint. Tell me about Victor.
All right, Victor. Well, he's a Khador Colossal, pretty much standard, boxes and everything for that, 2 open fists. The most important thing everyone wants to know is the Siege Mortar, which is range 20, AoE 5, POW 15.
Inaccurate.
Yeah, it is. It is also inaccurate and has arcing fire, and also a minimum range of 6 inches.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's. But still, I mean, who wants to be within 6 inches of a Colossal that can walk up and punch you at 6 inches? Not a good combo.
And we call that POW 22 on its fists.
Indeed, it is. And the Siege Mortar has 3 types of attacks. It's got Crater, which is an AoE, makes the AoE rough terrain.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Flare, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
-2 defense. And it's got Incendiary, which makes all of them take fire continuous effect.
Yep. Hell of a jack.
It's also 18 points, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's 2 secondary guns. It got rid of those crazy creeping barrage things that no one liked, and has autocannons. Each one's got D3 auto fire and flak fire, which is a new ability. This model gains additional die on attack rolls with this weapon against models with flight, which is interesting. So in Gellius stuff like that, you're like, oh, how about I shoot you? I get just extra die. Boosted is good. I mean, they're only range 10 PAL 12s, but you know what they say about PAL 12s?
POW 12s kill casters.
Yeah, and they have a couple flying ones around.
Absolonia 2 flies, doesn't she?
Yep, she does.
That makes my heart sing a little bit. Excellent.
So he's pretty good. I'm not saying he's amazing. He'll probably see more play than Conquest because he's a little cheaper, but he's pretty good. So, Haley.
Haley
we
3.
don't think-
Yeah, whatever.
Everyone's seen Haley. She was spoiled to heck. This just in, she's good. Shock of all shocks, she's probably the best caster in the book, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do?
She's gonna have a certain skill cap associated with when do you bring the girls in and when you don't, and all that kind of crap. But she's still Haley, and
she's a lot more vulnerable to things like Alexia or Lamentation that make upkeeps and stuff cost more. So
yeah,
because she's got some upkeeps and all, and Doomy 2 loves her, or Doomy 1 loves her greatly. Because those other guys aren't going to do much when they're exploding from casting spells.
Exactly. Kaplowy. Yeah.
Yep.
So, there you go. All right. So, anyway. Haley
Hurricane.
Let's move on. Actually, I've got Ace next.
Ace next?
Yeah.
People are raging about Ace. I think he's pretty cool.
I think he's awesome. He's got Shadow Fire.
He's cool.
He's got Shadow Fire from range 14.
Okay.
And he just makes Colossals disappear. As far as and he's got Thunderbolt, and he's got Trick Shot, which is I think pretty much Magic Bullet, right?
More or less. It's only POW 10, but yeah.
He's got Infiltrate.
He's also got a POW 12 gun on a 7-point Warjack.
Okay.
It's not armor piercing.
He's got Shadow Fire with how many boxes? 18, 19, 20, 24 box Shadow Fire instead of 5 for Tyrandilla Revisi.
Hold on. For comparing him, she's got 2 guns that can both Shadow Fire in case she misses with the first one.
Well, there is that. All right.
He's a good, solid light Warjack.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's got True Sight too. He's pretty good.
Yep. Is he based? He's not based on the. He doesn't have a range extender or whatever it is, does he?
No, he's got Advanced Deployment Pathfinder though, which is pretty good.
Which is nice, and True Sight. So
he's kind of based off that Hunter chassis, but it's not the same.
They didn't give him the same radio in his head, so.
No.
Damn it! All right, Hurricane.
Hey, it's pretty cool. It's an arc node.
It's not Stormwall.
It's got the. Yeah, it's not Stormwall. Its main guns are Storm Emitters, range 12, POW 16.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Real good.
And Enemy models hit or push D6 directly away, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then its secondary guns are range 14, AoE 4, PAL 13s for some ungodly reason. And he's got shock fists that no longer do electro leap, but they do cortex damage, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, that'll mess in a colossal on colossal melee. That'll cause problems. He's an arc node, and he has turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes.
I think we're about to get ready for a whole lot of flight in this game.
Yeah, or maybe people think that flight is a little too good, so they're getting some things in play against it.
Yeah, very possible. So
he's 18 points. He's pretty good. I mean, I feel like he's got a lot more direct hitting power than Stormwall at range, but he loses a lot of the tricks.
yeah, he'll be a very straightforward jack to run. So kids out there, here's your and in the arc node book is if you're engaging this thing, is it going to shut down its arc node?
Yep.
Huh.
It has no way to arc if it's engaged.
All right. And then the model nobody's going to play, the Trench Buster.
Oh my god, I love this guy.
I love him too, but he's never going to see the table.
No, that's not true. He can be played in Magnus's Bad Seeds list.
Oh, okay. He will get to see. He will get to see. He'll be playing for Mercs, which is in a shocking turn of events. A Signar model will be playing for Mercs.
I love it. He's good. I mean, I really, really wish he was a Merc solo all the time. He shows me what they could have done with Ogre and Assault Core instead of what they actually did. But what are you going to do?
I love the Ogre and Assault Core. I just wish they were better.
Yeah, I love them too. This guy is his guns range 10 AoE 3 POW 14. He's got a POW 13 melee weapon. He's 13 17.
You can take two of them.
Mat 7. He's pretty good.
Yeah, you can take two of them. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and he's got assault and flank trencher.
Yeah, I mean assault with a POW 14 gun is no joke.
Indeed, and girded.
Yeah,
It's like they heard everything we wanted on Ogre and Assault Core. They're like, we'll put it on this guy.
will they be happy? Well, I don't know. We'll see. All right.
But he's cool. I'll buy one at least for Bad Seeds, even though I don't play it.
Denny 3 is my next model.
Sure.
So I don't really know what to say about Denny 3. I mean, she's going to be... Her and Morton Ebra are the best jack casters for Crix. This soul
She's
crap.
better every turn than Morton Arbor is. Morton Arbor is better for one turn.
Yeah.
Kind of. But Denny's like every turn. It's just like, if you can get some soul, she's just going to be making her jacks do crazy things.
Yeah.
And casting mortalities everywhere, ghost walking all the things. And she's going to sit on the bench because it's Crix and their casters are already too good.
Yep. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about Denny 3 because I'll probably never play against her. She has a tier list, I hear. There you go.
Yeah, it's there.
It's
a thing.
Let's talk about the Soul Trapper. This is a Crix Thrall solo. It grabs souls.
It does. It's FA3.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Does this thing have an ability to transfer souls back to the caster at all? Or does Denny 3 grab souls off of it?
Day 3 can grab souls off of it, but other casters, it's got a star action with range 5 that it can remove any number of soul tokens from this model and put it on that model.
Okay. Well, I mean, Denny 3 is going to have probably three of these things.
Yeah, because they're FA3 and you get 2 for a point. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So she'll have 2 Soul Trappers cost 1 point. You can take 3 of them, so you'll have 6 of these guys ranging around, feeding souls back into her. So
Yeah, absolutely.
there you go. Rich get richer, the poor get the pitcher. The Shrike, which is another attempt at a flying, I believe. Bonejack for Crix. Probably never going to see this one either.
No, well, you might because it tramples and it's cheap. It's 4 points. It's like the Razorwing Griffin.
I was just going to say, this is what happens to Razorwing Griffins when they die.
Yep, and I like the Razorwing Griffin. I mean, unfortunately, this thing requires focus to do what it does, so not as good. But hey, 4 points. It's a good price. You might see some.
4 points, yep. It's defense 14, or is that 16?
1613. It's a
Man,
16 defense, 13
so-
armor with 211 POWs. It's got wing blades at POW 11 and a vicious beak that's POW 11.
Vicious beak. All right, let's talk about Sepulcher.
Sepulcher. Hey, it's a colossal.
Yep.
It's 18 points. Like, you notice a lot of them going down, which means I can't wait to see what they do with the Gargantuans.
Yeah.
It's amphibious. It's got body snatcher, so it can gain a corpse token for each time a mechanothrall or living models destroyed within 5 inches. And it has the necro industry, so that it can spend 3 corpse tokens to either add 3 bane thralls or 1 brute thrall to a unit. Obviously, you can do
Mechanothralls, right?
mechanothralls or bane thralls. Ugh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mechanothralls or brute thralls.
Okay. Cool.
It's got a pretty solid gun, range 13, PAL 13, AoE 5, arcing fire, and crit paralysis.
Can't argue with that.
And 2 rate of fire, 2 spikers, 1 in each arc that are range 11, PAL 13, and burst fire.
Yep. Probably never see one. So there you go.
Yeah.
And then there's Barathrum, not to be confused with Baratheon. This has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. This is an advanced deployment terror-causing Jack.
With countercharge and dig in. And the most fluffy ability I've seen on a Jack in a while,
Drag
below.
Yep.
So during its activation, immediately after resolving an attack which it blocks the living enemy model, it can use drag below. The box model is removed from play, and this model can immediately take a full advance and then perform a dig in special action, and its activation then ends.
That's really good. I mean, this thing's going to be survivable as hell.
Yeah. I mean, if it kills a model, it will be. Unfortunately, dig in requires you to do a star action, so it can't run. So it'll always be 6 inches dig in. So it's a great late game Jack, but it is 10 points, so you're paying a lot.
It's got a soul drive. Now, does that push it up over 3, or is it just you put 2 on it, you get the 3rd for free?
No, it's allocated.
It's allocated, so it's
free.
Yep.
And it's based off of Seether, so it is 13, 17, and Mat 8. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. A couple of POW
3
17
initials.
cross. Yeah.
Unlike Seether, it doesn't charge for free. So, interesting.
And if you hit a ward, it's got feedback on its talon too.
Yeah, feedback on its talon. Yeah, it's got 2 of them, so that could be
Yep.
pretty bad.
Yep. So that's something to keep in mind. You may see Barathrum. I think it's a pretty good Jack. Once again, keeping with Crix's theme of good character Jacks.
Mm-hmm.
And now this
And
guy,
I think,
Chromac 2.
oh, Chromac 2. He's in a different file. 1 second.
All right, take your time.
He's legit. I'm going to start with that.
He's really good. Pause.
The
Pause.
forums are kind of sad, but
Shut up. He took my weapon.
yeah, he took your weapon. He's POW 17 with reach.
He's better at it too, which pisses me off.
That's because he's on a large base.
Yeah.
Mat 8, Def 14, Armor 18.
Yep.
Causes terror. He's got 19 boxes too, so he's kind of hard to kill.
+2 strength and arm on the feet.
For
So
his battle group. So then all living friendly faction models get auto hitting charge attacks.
Yep. As long as they're charging, right?
Yeah, as long as they're charging. Make a charge attack against an enemy model, they get auto hit. Cormac's great. I mean, he can put the kids to bed, as I like to say.
Yeah,
POW 17 is amazing on a caster.
And if you can hold on to the feet that long, he's POW 19, but you probably have already spent it. So,
Plus, he's got Heart Taker.
Yep. He's got Heart Eater. So, yep.
And Life Drinker. It's amazing.
Yeah.
His spell list is someone has joked that a lot of casters look like a couple rounds of spell draft on their card. So
Yep.
his is an interesting combination of stuff I wanted to see and stuff I wasn't sure I wanted.
Yep.
Aggravator, which gives a friendly war beast in his control area hyper aggressive.
Yep.
So
Fast
good
beast
note
fast.
that it also works on the war beast that Una has, because it's friendly war beasts, not friendly warbs in the battle group.
Well, there you go.
I
Awakened
just noticed
Spirit.
that. So that's an upkeep too. That's
Sure.
pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah, Awakened Spirit is the spell circle always wanted.
Yeah.
There's so many beasts that go from being kind of utility to really good with that. The Shadow Horn, the Gnarl Horn, lesser extent the Razor Wing. The Winter Argus becomes a little nasty little bastard because he can spend all of his fury to make his sprays good, and still be a 15-16 immune to cold, which is pretty good. Plus, plus you'd love to have his Animus on Chromac to make him 20 armor.
Yep.
Because why not?
Carnage, because stuff wasn't hitting accurately enough already.
But what this does is it makes it so Primal's not necessary all the time.
Yep.
Or if you really need to next level it, you do both, and you get your Warble Stalkers up to Mat 10 effectively, so they can Thresher or so they can Berserk all the things.
Yep. Primal Howl, -2
This
to
one's
the technicals.
weird.
Yep. It's only, I believe his command is 5.
4.
4? Okay.
4.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it does mean while you're in the command range, living enemy models suffer -2 to their attack rolls, and enemy model units, living enemy model units, get for -2 command when making command checks. So it's pretty good.
Helps you fail that command check, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can pick off a couple from a unit that turn and then get him into the rest of it with that on, he could very easily make them break, because you'll have to take a command check at terror check at -2 and then a half check at -2.
Man, that's just
that could be what it does.
Yeah, but it's still, it's almost half his stack.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
But anyway, Primal Shock, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, not quite as good as it can be in Trolls with Mulg out there,
No.
but hey, if Zapdos has a good strength, you might see that with him.
Yeah, exactly. And then the girls.
Oh, the girls. You can go to the girls. All right.
Saren 2 and Rias 2. The first, this isn't really interesting. I applaud Privateer for coming up with this as an idea, where they took 2 regular casters and then turned them into a unit together. They both have focus stats. So Rias, of course, has 5, and Saren obviously has 7. And they work together as a unit.
Yep. And we're pretty sure they have a shared battle group. That's sort of the idea we have. We're not 100% sure. I haven't read that far.
I would assume so.
Yeah. And they have a weird feat where you bring one back from the dead if it's dead, and you or you can teleport to the other one.
Yeah. I'm sorry that the pictures here are not very good, people. It's very difficult to get them to be big enough.
Here we go. I've got it where I can read it. This feat can be used once per game by either Saren or Rias. When this feat is used, either Saren or Rias immediately trades places, or you can turn one of them to play. If you choose to return Saren or Rias to play, place the return model within 3 inches of the model that used the feat. The return model comes into play with a number of Fury points equal to its Fury. After using Conjoined Spirit, which is the name of the feat, models in this unit cannot advance for 1 turn.
Yep. So Rias has Onslaught, which we've talked about, Flashing Blade, which we know about, and Occultation, which we're intimately familiar with. And then Saren has Banishing Ward, Blood Boon, so kills a thing and gets to cast a spell, right? 3 focus or less. Then Marked for Death, which is -2 defense, and you get to ignore stuff for LOS. And
you get to ignore,
Yep, intervening like obstacles and stuff.
It also loses Incorporeal and Stealth, which is good too.
So that's Denny too. And then Psychic Vampire. When I hear about Marked for Death, I make the same reaction, John. So it's totally natural. And then Psychic Vampire, which is off of Gareth's card. So it has something to do with you do a damage point to somebody casts a spell, right?
Yep, it's just when enemy model casts a spell or uses an animus while in this model's control area, the enemy model suffers 1 damage point, and this model heals 1 damage point.
Yep. Then Razor Wind, which is a POW 12 Shitty Nuke.
Yep, and good note, they only have 8 boxes each,
which is really interesting.
Yeah, and another note is since it was asked a lot of times, yes, Rias can have Onslaught upkept on herself, and Saren can have Psychic Vampire upkept on herself at the same time.
Okay.
There was a lot of confusion about that. That is definitely how you can do it.
And then they've got a wall of text on the back of their cards.
Yeah, lots of text. Let's see. Rias' Acrobatics, Bond of Blood. They can spend Fury points to transfer to each other. Saren can channel through Rias. Both of them. Rias has granted riposte. They have a twin sister advantage, which basically tells you how to use them, but I don't care enough to read right this moment. And Raya still has crit decapitation.
Yep.
And Saren has Raya can channel through her and dispel on her magic weapon.
Yep. Okay. And she got to keep reach. Both of them have reach now. So there you go.
Yep.
All right. So screw you, Legion. And let's move on to the minions, the Croak Raiders. This is pretty fun.
These guys are cool.
Advanced deploy, 13-14s. Their flaming dart has gives you the continuous effect fire. The oil gourd, which is a range 8 AoE 3. If the model hit by this attack suffers oil, when an oiled model suffers a fire damage, the damage roll is automatically boosted. So you punch them with you get half the unit to punch them with the flaming darts. You get the other half to oil gourd them, and bad times happen.
Yep. They have the funniest ability, which is Vitriol, which this model is hit by a melee attack. Immediately after the attack is resolved, the attacking model suffers the continuous corrosion effects unless this model was destroyed or removed from play by the attack.
So how are you going to survive a hit, one of these guys?
You don't penetrate their armor 14.
Yeah, good luck with all that. So Vitriol will...
And no, we don't know what their point cost is in this case. My picture does not have it on there.
Trevor said I think they're 4/6s.
4/6 would be amazing.
But that sounds wrong. So I don't know. Anyway.
4/6 or 5/8, they'd be fine at either one, let's be honest.
Yeah. Great. I don't know. I can't remember. So I'm not... We'll say that it's 10-12. We'll just put it out there.
10, 12. Take the max unit always, so the min unit's not worth it.
That's right. You can't... Exactly. All right. So there you go, folks. Spoilerific. We're at 35 viewers. John, I think Twitch has found us again. They kind of held us back. There was just an example of the man keeping a podcast down, and but now we're back, and the people are loving us. Did a little bit of marketing on the old Twitch stream this weekend with the Privateer stream. Tried to bring a little fresh blood into the Brushhead Nation. Seems like it worked. So, on behalf of all the newest viewers out there, hey, Ron.
Ron.
We're running a little bit long here. I watched Jurassic Park 1 and 3. This is the bonus. This is known as the bonus round. This is where we talk about media and movies and stuff like that. I watched Jurassic Park 1 and 3 and regret it. The screaming kids make me want to rip my hair out and want to die. The Leone, I don't think she's worked since Jurassic Park 3, and I'm okay with that.
She may not have.
She's a terrible actress. And I watched them because I wanted to see if Troll Chuck was going to be okay with dinosaur on dinosaur violence and dinosaur on human violence with Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy 1.5, otherwise known as Jurassic World. Only Star-Lord could show up in Jurassic World. So wanted to see he did fine. So there you go. I would give Jurassic Park 1 2 shots of Kraken. I give Jurassic Park 3 3 shots of Kraken. Terrible movies. John, what do you got for us this week?
I'm going to throw the one most important flippity bloop that Mr. Barron asked that we can answer quickly.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, what happened to the blue glove, and when do we get a new one?
Okay, so the blue gloves are here. Here they are. I haven't been painting much on the show, honestly, recently, and I need to get back to that. But for I'll put it on just for you. The blue glove of love, bringing it to you old school style here, right into the mic. There you go. So, I apologize. So here's a special Ron wearing the blue glove of love. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
There you go. And you know what? If you wear the blue glove of love, when you're holding the soul of an eagle, that soul holds a little bit extra special power then. So keep that in mind when you get your Painting with Menoth John precision measuring kit and alternative +2 defense kit that you make sure you put on the blue glove for extra special soul preservation. There you go.
Fair enough.
What about you?
So I did get a movie in.
Mm-hmm.
It was late. Last Possible Moment, which was on Wednesday because I had a bunch of stuff to do over the weekend and all.
Yep.
But I just went through Amazon and found a free movie. It's called Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty.
It's nothing to do with the TV show that's on or the actual Sons of Liberty. Basic premise is they are a like new paramilitary group that's up against terrorists in the modern times. Boy, I took some notes. It's very, very hit or miss. It's got Mark Shepard in it, who I love, but I feel like they didn't use him enough, which is bad. They had some solid action, some okay acting. God, that story was all over the place. It's like it felt like a pilot for a TV show. So that was kind of weird. Apparently, it's a sequel to a movie that's not available for free on Amazon, so I'm not going to be seeing it anytime soon.
Why would you?
I'm not going to pay it was like $4 to rent it. I'm like $2 maybe. I might do you for $2, but $4, that's twice as much as I would pay.
Nope.
Actually, the best thing I can say is there were some scenes in the climactic finale, some slow-mo scenes that I thought were very, very well directed.
Well, there you go.
Very well shot, very enjoyable. And honestly, you saw the sort of Whedon-esque moment coming a mile away, but it still kind of got you in the feels a little bit. So I'm going to give it the standard action movie about 2 shots of Kraken. It's
Makes
enjoyable.
sense.
Maybe 2.5 shots of Kraken, that area. It's enjoyable. It's an hour and a half. Doesn't overstay its welcome. If you get Amazon Prime, check it out.
That's a totally legit review. I'm going to bring up the music, John. We're right here at 8:35. It was a great episode. You know, John, it felt kind of good just being you and me for a change.
Absolutely. Getting some spoilers out there, talking about cool stuff.
Yep. You know, we're still gonna keep it always hardcore casual here at Painting with Menoth John. Always gonna kick it out that we're here about the fluff and, you know, the models look fun. You know, everybody be happy about Reckoning. It's a hell of a book. Privateer Press has given us a lot of funds. So get out there and have fun. You know, this week, John, I'm going to be making a special effort to get out to my LGS 2 times this week. I'm going to get out to the new kids over there at Rockheads in Kenosha. I'm going to get up there to Realm of the Dragon up in Milwaukee and just play some games. Just have some fun. So on behalf of John, Spencer, and myself, get out to those game stores, support your local game stores, play it hardcore casual, keep it fun, keep it real, and we'll see you this time next week on the Painting with Menoth John show. Have a good week.